You're taking a live look at satellite and Doppler radar tracking the return of showers and some thunderstorms across the tri-state. Good afternoon. I'm meteorologist Erin Ashley. It is 75 degrees. Those dew points rather high, both the heat and humidity. Storm fuel for what you're seeing just over my shoulder, which is on the horizon of our Newport on the Levee camera. The incoming showers and thunderstorms. So you guys know how it works with me in the stream. I like to put what I'm talking about this way, my graphics to the right, and I will always keep Doppler radar right below me. That is the active radar to give you an idea of where these showers and thunderstorms are right now. But I want to take a deeper look at Doppler radar to give you that first alert. Yeah, you can see these are mainly tracking through our southeastern Indiana counties. We haven't had any warnings. There are no watches in place. We're still under a slight risk for severe weather today, mainly looking at gusty winds. However, what this map is not showing you are what we call special weather statements. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read off some of the data and the information coming in off of some of these special weather statements, just saying, hey, while these storms don't quite reach severe limits, meaning gusty winds up to 60 miles per hour or 1 inch in diameter hail, they are still notably strong. And so I'm going to be circling what I can here on Doppler radar to give you just the visual to go with it. So we have two special weather statements in place for our viewing area, and it's for that concentration of red that you see there now just west of Butler County and west of 275. And so we got two of them. I'll go ahead and break them down for both of them. Again, not severe thunderstorm warnings, but definitely strong. So you see my arrow? That's my mouse. I'm controlling it. So let's bring us to now. And I'm going to be circling right here because that is going to be special weather statement number 1. And that one expires actually in 12 minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if they extended that just because this line of thunderstorms has not shown signs of weakening, at least not huge signs of weakening. So this one is moving slightly north and east. Our meteorologist Brad Mousehart saying this is now starting to take that northerly turn. Instead of just being from west to east, it's southwest to northeast. Regardless, hail of ½ inch diameter and winds of 50 miles per hour. All right, so that's number 1. How about number 2? It's down here, the cell just east of Caesar Creek, just west of Randolph. And so that one, my friends, is going to be until, and this is going to be for the next 30 minutes actually, so that one's a newer, a fresher one if you will, and this one just has less of a punch. 45 mile per hour wind gusts, where I'm circling right here, and ½ inch in diameter hail. So that's going to be closer to, say, a pea-sized. Overall, not a huge concern here, but regardless, we have enough heat, we have enough instability. We don't see a huge sign of this weakening. So yes, the metro area is next in line. I have my phone because I'm reading weather information. And you see that on the horizon. On our Newport on the Levee cam, those two stronger thunderstorms that I was just showing you on Doppler radar, well, they're going to be pushing into the Cincinnati metro area here very shortly. You might be tuning in from West Union, Vanceburg, south and east. Well, you guys have several hours before it gets to your neck of the woods. So putting a loop back on it, you'll notice as it approached our area, it brought with it just a little bit of rain towards Columbus, Indiana, Vienna, Indiana, and parts of the I-65 corridor, whereas it crossed into the tri-state and seemingly lost just that line of showers and brought in more intense thunderstorms. Again, nothing that is severe warned at this point in time, but it's knocking on the door of those severe limits. So me, Brad, Steve, we're all watching for you guys, getting you through this every step of the way. I'm going to go ahead and time this out here in just a second. Going ahead and taking a look here at, or from our partners at the National Weather Service, making sure there's no new information coming on in, and there isn't. So let's talk about the severe risk that we saw coming into today. Again, it's a first alert weather day, meaning this weather is quite impactful to your day. In this way, in this particular day, I should say, it's because of these guys. I mean, if I pull this full screen, you can almost see how quickly these clouds are moving. Also, the slight shaking there of our Newport on the Levee cam. Yeah, that's the incoming showers and storms bringing in gusty winds, maybe a bit of hail and rain and lightning, of course. So just buckle in. We'll get through it. It's not a big line of storms. As soon as it enters, it will be on its way out. So unfortunate news there to our partners at Great American Ballpark, who first pitch will be 35 minutes from now at 12:40, and you'll be doing so with a little bit of rain. Yeah, first pitch. How about the first raindrops of the day? Yeah, and overall, not a great opportunity to head out to Great American Ballpark, which I know is unfortunate because today is business day and mid 70s. Yeah, not the best. All right, let's talk about this severe risk one more time. I'm going to reiterate that the screen you see below me is active radar, so you can constantly be checking in on that. And then the graphics that I'm controlling and mainly going to be addressing are to my right. All right, so we, in much of the Buckeye State and Kentucky for that matter, under a slight risk for severe weather today. We have this main line that we're tracking and then a more conditional threat later on in the afternoon. I'll show you what it all looks like coming up in just a second. Mainly just seeing these as scattered thunderstorms, and that's what we've been seeing, and that's what I'm seeing right now on our satellite and radar. No watches, no warnings in place, just your general scattered thunderstorms. And then there is that isolated chance for some severe weather, mainly going to be in the gusty winds. I don't think we'll get that hail criteria reached, but of course, I've been wrong before. I could be wrong again. It's just a greater concern of the winds. And there is a non-zero tornado threat as well. So of course, we're keeping a very close eye on that. And I will say the good news about the tornado threat, even though it is low, the chance of getting a tornado, it's low, and it's not one of those big tornado makers. It would just create some spin-ups. So overall, not tracking anything too destructive with what's possible. Okay, so this is one of our higher resolution models showing the conditional showers and storms, that first line pushing through the area. It'll do so through the early afternoon. So what you see on the very right side of your screen, that's going to be what we're seeing on radar right now, just a few hours down the line. But then you're like, Erin, there's more coming in behind it. And yeah, this is the conditional threat that I was just talking about, saying, hey, we still need to be weather aware into the evening hours. I've brought you to 6 o'clock this evening, and while that initial line has pushed east, this model suggests that there's enough instability for these storms to pop up once again, and this would impact your evening plans. Again, it's a conditional threat for severe weather, and that would include your gusty winds and your hail. So that'll push into the Cincinnati area closer to about 7. Notice as it pushes east, it loses a lot of its steam, but you're still likely to get some showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder out there towards West Union, Hillsborough, Vanceburg, and whatnot. And then we smooth sail into your Friday morning. Overall, it's not going to be a washout. I mean, you saw me walk through it. You're seeing it on radar right now. It's a thin line and it's a conditional threat. So I'd say there's going to be more dry time than not. It's just that these storms, they do pack a punch where we do see them. Just checking in on our radar, making sure nothing's changed, and it hasn't. Good news there. All right, we're going to go ahead and take the opportunity now to talk about tomorrow, which is another chance for some severe weather. I'll show you just a brief overview of how tomorrow's forecast is going to play out. And because we've got showers and thunderstorms in the mix, we're still forecasting temperatures in the low 70s. And that's because this system that's brought us rounds of rain over the last few days, and even those severe thunderstorms that we saw, and what we're seeing now too, it's because this system has kind of just parked itself right over us, and it's not going to budge for a few days. And so it's bringing around it some moisture, just surges of energy. And so, yeah, we're going to be seeing off and on showers and storms today, tomorrow, Saturday, and even a little bit of Sunday. But the good news, if you want to call it, is that it's not going to be a washout. It's just periodic showers and storms. It's one of those annoying forecasts where you feel like you need to have the rain jacket, but it's so humid that you'll sweat in the rain jacket, but then you need the rain jacket because it's about to start raining. It's just one of those annoying forecasts. But good thing you have the First Alert Weather app to get you through it, and you have Doppler radar right in the palm of your hand being like, oh my gosh, rain will be here in 10 minutes. It will quite literally warn you if heavy rain is near your location. It'll do the same thing with lightning as well. And then of course with any watches and warnings, it picks up on the fact that you're anywhere across the tri-state. It fixates on your location. It's actually really cool. I highly recommend. Okay, tomorrow, not too bad. A little bit of a cool start today. It might even be a little bit more on the foggy side. Depends on those winds and it depends on the cloud cover. But regardless, it's going to be sticky stepping out the door because those dew points are rather high right now. And another way of saying the dew points are high is if it's raining or not. So it's tomorrow, even outside of those showers and those thunderstorms. It's your typical spring forecast, just bringing in rounds of rain and a little bit of dry time as well. Okay, so beyond that, let's get into your 7-day forecast. The time now is 12:11, and it's going to be an active next 7 days, of course, and today's the only first alert weather day out of the next several, and today's the greatest opportunity to encounter one of those stronger thunderstorms, though tomorrow it's not impossible to encounter one of those thunderstorms. It's a smaller risk, but it's still very much there for some strong winds tomorrow evening, coming off a high of 70 degrees and just with those very humid dew points. Now, for the Kentucky Derby, some light rain in that forecast lingering. We'll of course get a better idea of how that forecast plays out once we get through today's showers and storms, as well as tomorrow's showers and storms. Generally speaking, the closer we get to a certain day, the better the forecast can be, or at least they can be more accurate. All right, so Sunday, Flying Pig Marathon, it's going to be chilly to start the race. The very early morning is going to be in the mid-40s. It's one of those races that you'll have the jacket and you'll see runners like shedding layers throughout the race. Would not be surprised. I mean, that's typical for any marathon, but especially marathons that start like this. 45 degrees, and then in the afternoon, low 60s. Generally cooler than average weekend ahead, and some chances for rain, but more dry time than not. Don't be fooled by those icons. Just have that radar at the ready. And then Monday, Tuesday, a few showers in that forecast. Temperatures slowly but surely climb out of the 60s back to the 70s at some point next week. All right, now that we've walked through your 7-day forecast, let's take one last look at your radar image to give you that first alert. Any new warnings? No new warnings, but still tracking those showers and those storms, which are now crossing into Hamilton and Butler County, and then also down towards Lawrenceburg, just north of where 71 and 75 split once again. So if you are about to hit the road, if you're about to head out on your lunch break and you live in western Hamilton County, I mean, I don't need to be the one to tell you, you probably see the clouds rolling on in, which since I'm here, let's check and see our Newport on the Levee cam, because this one does a really good job of showing clouds rolling in. Yeah, you see how dark it is on the horizon back there. I'll go ahead and make it full screen. People trying to get their boating in right now, just ahead of the storms. Honestly, probably a really nice feeling day to be out on the river, but I wouldn't recommend it considering there's showers and storms coming on in. But you see on the horizon that blanket of low-lying clouds. Wouldn't be surprised if we've gotten some strikes of lightning out there on our camera. And what's really cool is we've just gotten the capability and the ability to roll on a time lapse. So we'll show you guys that as it comes in. Okay, so we have some new information coming in from the National Weather Service, and that's what I'm looking at here on my phone. And there is what we call a mesoscale discussion coming out, in which the Storm Prediction Center says, hey partners, we think we're going to issue a watch, or we don't think we're going to issue a watch. In this case, they are likely going to issue a severe thunderstorm watch. It's an 80% chance. I'm going to see if I can show you guys right here, right now. This was just sent to me literally within the last minute or so, and so it will take me a second to get that to flare up here, but again, this is an 80% chance that the eastern side of our viewing area will get a severe thunderstorm watch, not a warning, a watch. Okay, so let me pull in this data real quick, make sure that it's loading properly. But yeah, so that red you see there, that's what I'm seeing on my screen down here. So everywhere circled in the red has an 80% chance of hitting and getting that severe thunderstorm watch. That would be issued here pretty soon. They're really on top of it, the local weather forecasting offices. Let me see, we have our own private chat with the National Weather Service, and I'm gonna see if they're having any discussions on this watch, this potential. So I'll go ahead and full screen this for you guys, or actually I'll do this, that you can see the showers and storms coming on in as well. So what I'm doing is I'm just reading what they have had put out. So we've got a chance this afternoon for these showers and storms to intensify, increasing the risk for scattered damaging wind gusts and isolated marginally severe hail. Okay, so that's just basically what I've been saying and what we've been saying all morning, saying, hey, gusty winds and some hail are going to be likely and possible with these showers and storms coming through the tri-state area, and not just what you're seeing on radar below me, but also what's going to be coming in later as well. So it's an 80% chance that you see there on the right. That is that mesoscale discussion. That's most of the Buckeye State likely going to be under a severe thunderstorm watch. Not officially quite yet, but it's most certainly being considered, strongly considered. 80% chances, usually a lock of being like, hey, there's going to be a severe thunderstorm watch coming out within the hour or so. Nothing too striking about this, the wording of this mesoscale discussion. So just keep in mind and have that First Alert Weather app at the ready so that you know when that watch is issued. And of course, we will let you know when that watch is issued. Again, that is going to be for mainly the eastern side of the viewing area, and wouldn't be surprised if that included Hamilton County. I mean, Butler County might be included as well. The actual watch being issued is up to the discretion, I believe, of the local weather forecasting office. And so sometimes they opt in and they say, hey, if it's even slightly included within this red area, so that would be Butler, Hamilton, parts of northern Kentucky as well, then they'll typically issue the watch just to cover their bases. But if you're in Warren or Butler or even Adams, Brown, Lewis, Robertson, Bracken, any of those counties there in the east, or if you live east of the Cincinnati metro area, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a severe thunderstorm watch within the hour. So maybe not this is suggesting that not everyone will get a watch today, but rather the eastern side of the viewing area. And might I remind you that this aligns very, very closely with what the Storm Prediction Center had put out earlier with their slight risk of severe weather. Now, it did have that slight risk, including our entire viewing area, but the more center part of that slight risk is where the mesoscale discussion is. So again, your main concerns with that isolated severe storm threat is going to be in the hail, it's going to be in the winds. The time now is 12:19. No new information coming in from our partners at the National Weather Service. I'm glad that we were able to tackle that mesoscale discussion as it came live on the air and on our radar, because of course you want to be the first to know if there's severe weather on the way. So one last check of the radar before I go ahead and hop off of here, because I'm not allowed to be on here past 12:25. Of course, if the weather needs it, I can always override that. You guys know the sitch. Okay, so I'm turning on watches and warnings, not seeing any of those. That's good. Just some special weather statements. One of them is north towards Lima, and we only have one active in the viewing area. Let me go ahead and zoom on in. So that is the one that is crossing into parts of Hamilton County, just south of Miller. I'm going to bring out my handy dandy little arrow, and I'm going to pause our radar. So this part right here that I'm circling, that is what is under that special weather statement. Again, a special weather statement is not a warning, it's not a watch, it's hardly an advisory, but it's their way, the National Weather Service's way of saying that there's going to be some gusty winds. There's going to be a little bit of hail with this as well, but neither of those things quite reaching severe limits at this time. But remember, there is a chance, there's a good chance, an 80% chance that a severe thunderstorm watch will be issued in the viewing area for parts of the viewing area very soon. Again, typically within the hours when we hear about this. I'm hearing some rumbles of thunder here in Queens Gate, so I'll go ahead and sign off here in just a second. I apologize, I'm just looking at radar, getting a closer look here, making sure the storms are behaving. So again, mesoscale discussion, the area you see there in the red is what the National Weather Service is strongly considering issuing a severe thunderstorm watch for. Again, it's for what's rolling in now, but also for the conditional threat of severe weather this afternoon. So even beyond this first line, there's still an opportunity for showers and storms that could be severe this afternoon and evening. So you don't want to be caught off guard this afternoon and evening. Okay, so let me pull up our Newport on the Levee cam to give you an idea of what it's looking like outside. And we only have one active special weather statement. Again, no watches, no warnings quite yet, but you see there on the horizon, the storms are almost here, folks, and we will make sure that you have that first alert of what's coming, when it's going to be here, and it will be here. It's moving pretty steadily. I wouldn't say it's moving insanely fast. I'd say it's moving probably about 35 to 40 miles per hour, so consider that on the highway, and if you get stuck behind one of those people on the highway, you're like, oh my gosh, why aren't you going any faster? Well, that's how fast these storms are moving. So if you're tuning in from Claremont, Warren County, I'd say you've got another hour or so. And areas east, you're probably seeing that closer to about 3 to 4 o'clock this afternoon. So I appreciate you guys staying weather aware with us this afternoon. It's 12:22. I got to hop off of here. Download that First Alert weather app to get all the alerts and watches and warnings, everything you need to know about today's First Alert weather day. It's sent straight to your phone. We've got team coverage to get you through it, and I believe I've checked all my boxes. So once again, signing off here in Queensgate, Meteorologist Erin Ashley. Have a great rest of your day.